Bonjour, bonjour. I just thought I'll drop on. Just thought I'll drop in, talk about sadly the failed moon landing by the Japanese. By the it's two ways of pronouncing it. Hack U2 R. It's the Hack U2 R mission to resilience, or the Hakuto R. Hello there, lucky you, sir. Yes, thank you, Brian. Brian's in the chat. So, and also I've got a schedule which is up and running for MattTaylorTV. I will be. Where's my schedule gone? So then let me open up my schedule for MattTaylorTV. We've got Ross Broadstock reading King Arthur, so that's something to look forward to. My YouTube audience may have to get that second hand. I know this may come as a bit of a disappointment to some people, but I've just contradicted myself already because I'm live. But I'll be predominantly opening up my new season of entertainment on an alternative platform. So I'll be migrating over, but be rest assured, I'll be doing the odd open discussions on YouTube, in which feel free to, it's just a fancy chat room which is open. So feel free to discuss what you want. Of course, within the confines, certain names cannot be mentioned. Certain topics cannot be discussed. So we all act with maturity and we will be friendly. So that's the only kind of requirements we need in the open discussions. But other than that, people find things to discuss. And what I do value in my audience, and I like to think you find value in it too, but there is a community that's been made around this over the last couple of years, and friendships have been made. So too have loving relationships, because ultimately what's happening here is bringing people together. And like I said, this is an open discussion. Thank you ever so much, Brian, for being the first one in the chat, starting that discussion. For me, the internet has always been about talking to people, making contact with people, be it by voice, in a panel, or in the chat. There's a person at the end of every line. That's what I'm trying to say. And I love the idea that here and now we have people brought together. And it just makes everything I do on YouTube worthwhile. Because, I spend every day bringing you cutting-edge entertainment that you're not going to see anywhere else in the whole wide galaxy. And I pride myself on blazing new trails, and I'm really looking forward to presenting my new season of entertainment. And like I said, first on the schedule will be Ross Broadstock reading the King Arthur. So, I can't show it to you now. I can't even show you a sneak preview. That's going to be with an all-new page, a page dedicated to King Arthur, Ross Broadstock reading the War King. And honestly, Ross Broadstock's voice is so lovely, and he's reading to his teenage boys. So it's a joy to listen into. Hello, Brian. Brian says, "Come say hi, folks." Yes, can you see what Brian's doing there? Brian's enticing you all to be brave and join the conversation. Hello, says Brian. And it's times like this I'd always like to put up my little catchphrase. Don't be shy. Jump on in and say hi. Be brave and take the plunge onto Matt Taylor TV. Good. So yes. What's going on between Trump and Donald Trump? Oh, it's Trump and Elon Musk. That's something I want to do on my new season of entertainment. That's actually on the schedule. Watching the Elon Musk and Donald Trump drama. That again has got its own individual page and will be going live on an alternative platform. Because while YouTube has been a blast, it's also been a nasty experience. And of course, we continue to see that across this platform. It's horrendous what's happening to certain people out there. You know, it really is. It is horrendous. If you're unable to say hello to you, says Brian. See, that's about taking advantage of the digital time we have available to make friendships. Okay. So what else is on the schedule? So we've got the Ross Broadstock reading King Arthur, and of course, from now on, you'll predominantly see Matt Taylor, and the different subheadings under my YouTube presence is these open discussions. So you'll see more and more of these pop up across my channels, which is all the more reason why everyone should endeavour to subscribe to all my different channels. Come to mind, the Matt Taylor Nightmare, I think it's from what I'm live at the moment, to Matt Taylor Confidential, to This Is Not the Mouse channel, to Red TV. You know, so I've got a whole subsection of YouTubes. And in fact, funny enough, I got one back recently. Another YouTube channel was returned. So it's always a pleasure. You know what I mean? It's never nice losing a channel, but it's always a pleasure having one pop back up into existence a couple of years down the line. I do find it funny, but and very welcomed. So I've told you the agenda. Watching Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I'd like to, watch that with you. That's all part of the perusing the news, a new kind of like program on Matt Taylor TV. So perusing the news with Matt. That's all it is. So we just look at, the big story of the day, take a look at it. Again, we'll be using OBS on the new platform, so you won't be seeing that on YouTube. You had your chance, YouTube, but crikey, there's some nasty individuals out there. So that's all I want to say at the moment. And YouTube, if you're not careful, you can end up with a criminal record, and that's never nice, is it? I mean, I don't want to say too much because there's too much nastiness. Perusing the news, yes, and we'll be kicking that off with the Elon Musk, Donald Trump. So, like I said, there'll be more open discussions across my channels. I hope I can catch you in this. Oh, big shout out to Katie. Katie's in the house. Katie was kind enough to have a chat with me in my first open discussion. Reverse of which is oh hell, yes. So, okay, yeah. Another thing I haven't got on the schedule. Shame about the failed moon landing. I was looking forward to that. I covered that again actually live on this alternative um, live streaming platform. I got the wrong date. I was using OBS and I got the wrong date. And of course, on my new live streaming platform, I can't have anything that isn't top notch. You know what I mean? The other social streaming platform in which I now go live with this new season of entertainment, I ensure that the finished product is of the top notch quality. And if it isn't, like yesterday, got the bloody date wrong, silly me. I know, I'm so distracted. I got pulled up by the mouse, didn't I, for spelling censored wrong. Fair dues. I much prefer to get pulled up about my spelling than about the length of my member, so to say. Let's move swiftly on. We got a new comment from Brian, but before we go to Brian, I like what Katie's saying. Morning or morning. As far as I'm concerned, they both sound the same. So they're both the same thing. As I used to say to my children about spelling, it's those bloody French coming over, throwing their E's, O's, U's and I's around. Yeah, I mean, those bloody Anglo-Saxon. Who do they think they are? And I tell you, you're going to love the King Arthur Ross Broadstock series. So we're going to have Ross Broadstock reading King Arthur. And it's going to blow you away. Because what I'm doing at the moment, my 9-to-5 job is adapting the King Arthur story. So every chapter I'm going through and I'm working with the AI so to convert it all to a song, to comic book, to teenage reading, to a toddler reading. So I'm going along the way. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic journey to follow in the footsteps of Anna Wilson, Baron Blackett, and Ross Broadstock, and so many others. We are a huge collective, and you can find us at Britain's Hidden History on Facebook. So I urge everyone to learn more about our collective ancient British history. And funny enough, we're going through the same issues which King Arthur went through than we are today. And that's immigrants coming across the channel and populating his kingdom. Isn't it ironic that we have the same issues, same political issues, with 1,000, nearly 2 in between? Over to Brian, who says, bit dull today, looks like rain soon. But a hello anyway. Yes, look, this is what it's all about, open discussion. Okay? And like I said, I'm going to be doing more of my new season of entertainment over on an alternative live social media platform. And I think the only thing you'll be seeing me do on YouTube will be these open discussions. And of course, I always publish my videos because I'm a prolific video maker. And they'll continue to be scheduled for 12 o'clock noon every day. And I think the calendar I've got schedules up until the middle of August. That's how prolific I am at making videos and just being creative with the technology we've got available. I mean, I'm loving it. My productivity is just rocketed. I can do everything in like 100 times 100 faster. It's absolutely just like the future here in front of me, represented as a keyboard. And so I'm loving this new spurt of creativity. I've got a job now, I've got a job now. So mostly cowardly, but hopefully it picks up over the next few weeks. Yes, it does. Well, I need to do some washing, get my sheets hung up, if you know what I mean. Yes. Oh, so this is going to be interesting, right? Petit pois and pomme de terre. Messing with the veg, maybe. this was something I was reading I listened to an interesting YouTube about the origins of the beanstalk story, and it may be interesting to know or to hear that the Jack and the Beanstalk story is quite older than the Bible. We've got a new person in the chat. I'll get to you in a mo. Bit of history there, a bit of Brian saying I think the French just had an issue with England. Yeah, bloody hell, like coming over, taking our country over. The Scots got on okay with them, if I recall. Well, Scots get on with everyone, don't they? Oh, so we have a new YouTube psychosis assessor. Hello, YouTube psychosis assessor. I hope I'm pronouncing psychologists. I hear you've been a very naughty, have you? Well, it's all lies. It's all lies. Remember, it's an open discussion. It's an open discussion. Feel free. Oh yeah, I mean that could well be Brian, isn't it? No, not Brian. Sorry, it could well be AJ, but he's the guy who just comes in and pisses on your parade. You know what I mean? I'm sure I said something about. Well, no, it's all right. It's okay. I think we'll have to just stick down the rule here. And let's rewrite that. Say open discussion, ground rules. Open discussion, ground rules. There we go. Act with maturity and be friendly. Might be friendly now. Act with maturity and be friendly. Don't be on that. Explain yourself, psychologist, assessor. Really ever do. Oh, lucky we're not having a parade today and just a mature conversation, says Brian. Over to who we all believe to be the Mr. Degenerate. What is it this time for? Or, again, I think my life story is just, it's like dark matter. It's there, but you can neither see it, touch it, hear it, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a shame I have to plead the Fifth Amendment. But look, I'm just gonna, like I said, these open discussions could be open for as long as I decide, unless something else grabs my attention. I was listening to the Brian Craig show. I do like a bit of Brian Craig. So you know what the schedule is on MattTaylorTV. So listen, I'm just going to have a little break. I'll have a refreshment. But the chat room remains open. The open discussion remains open. I'll catch you all again soon. And like I said, I'm here. I'm just stop talking for a while. You know what I mean. Yes, thank you, Brian. Thanks for holding the fort, Brian. Much appreciated. Yeah, so it looks like we have Mr. Degenerate in the house. And I saw Mr. Degenerate. I saw Mr. Degenerate on Kaylee's last night. I do feel terrible not being able to be more vocal in support of certain individuals. We do live in dangerous times, and it takes its toll. What's happening? And I sympathise totally with Kaylee, what she's going through. This constant harassment, evident in the chat at the moment by a certain individual, who I'll only refer to as Mr. Degenerate. But yeah, which is one of the reasons why my new season of entertainment is going to be live on an alternative live streaming platform. Because of the likes of Mr. Degenerate, who's in the chat at the moment. And I know there's certain women of stature out there, older than I, who go around supporting the degeneracy of Mr. Degenerate. And quite frankly, from my personal opinion, it's just absolutely astonishing that any woman of that caliber, that maturity of age, shouldn't be seeing through what is, without a doubt, the most despicable behaviour on YouTube at the moment. He'll get the top award. You know what I mean? Yes, quite right. Quite right, Brian. I think absolutely. I'll second that. Thankfully, you have me and many nice people to help you. I cannot thank you enough. I know it's been a nightmare. And I know it's been a nightmare for you too. Because watching MattTaylorTV, being a vocal supporter of MattTaylorTV is a very dangerous thing to do in this climate. You'll get the bully boys like Mr. Degenerate and his gang, coming after you, giving you a rough time, smothering it in your face. And we see that going on with how they go for Kaylee and Jake. And I hate myself having to lurk. I wish I could be more vocal in my support for those two. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I do it. Thank you ever so much, Brian. And what Brian is touching upon now in his comment, I like to think, is that, and Brian, what Brian has been a part of, I hasten to add, and everybody else, Katie in particular, is keeping this open discussion a safe digital space. And I remember going on about that right at the start of when I started hosting these open time chat rooms, because essentially that's all what it is, isn't it? Yes, of course, Brian. Brian is a moderator elsewhere. And hasn't Brian been good dealing with Mr. Degenerate there? And thanks ever so much, Brian. Appreciate that. We keep the rules nice and simple here. It's simple, and that's what we like. Certain names cannot be mentioned. I'm going to have to change that to topics to be. Certain names cannot be mentioned. Certain topics. That's the word I was. Certain topics cannot be discussed. Act with maturity and keep it friendly. That isn't too bad, is it? Eh? Of course it isn't. So yeah, thanks ever so much for Ryan takes it in its stride. I tell you, you're gonna love what's happening in the new season of MattTaylorTV. Sadly, no longer broadcasting live on YouTube, But I like Mr. Degenerate, let's be fair. Everyone's got a limit, and YouTube for me is one of those boggy swamp areas of the internet in which despicable creatures like Mr. Degenerates runs around free in the undergrowth. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be going live on an alternative live streaming platform. And this all new season of Matt Taylor TV. First up in the schedule is Ross Broadstock reading King Arthur the Walking using OBS on the alternative live streaming platform. The open discussions will continue to be played on YouTube, but not with OBS. YouTube isn't going to get OBS, basically. And then we've got Perusing the News, in which we look at the topic of the day. And the first one up is the Elon Musk and Donald Trump drama. So I'm looking forward to it. Good. We've got the comment. Katie says, I will make a visit to Brighton soon. Yes, be good to have a proper chat. Absolutely. And look, and that's what makes this real. This bringing together of people. Because of course I've been in the same vicinity as Katie, but we didn't know each other back then. Lovely, sounds really friendly, yes. And that's what it's all about. Making connections. Yes, quite a lot will make sense. It'd be brilliant, actually. Well, that's why I use AI. AI has been a heaven sent to me. I mean, Emma, my sister, had a good little idea, how finally we've been able to communicate with the afterlife, and we're tapping into the spirit, the ghosts. Anyway, I love the idea. I quite like the idea of we're talking to the afterlife using AI. It's Emma's idea for a little short story, anyway. And that's short stories, man. Loads out there. Yeah, man. Open discussion. You got to respect. Oh yeah, that was something I wanted to. I've used original content, says Katie. Loving it. Yeah, it's good to put it out there. I mean, as an artist, it's all very well to write the book and to paint the painting, but you need people to read the book and look at the painting to make it a success. How mean-spirited they were. I know. Great to put it all together. Katie. It's been life-changing, hasn't it? The internet. Our relationship with the internet, our interaction with the internet, how we use the internet, how we manipulate it to meet our satisfactions, how we tailor it, how we tailor our usage of the internet to match our requirements and keep us satisfied. However way you get satisfaction via the internet. I get satisfaction from the internet by broadcasting, by getting myself out there. That it's just like a dream come true for me. I'm the producer of my own TV show. I have a bit of wisdom from Katie. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Isn't that amazing? Thank you so much for that motivating, positive message from Katie. Worth saying 3 times. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Now, if that isn't good advice, I don't know what is. Would be great to see Katie's content more as well, says Brian. Yeah, damn right it would be. Guard your heart above all else. What determines the course of your life? Lovely. Isn't that beautiful? Not of course. Proverbs 4:2-3. Love it. Oh, I mean, it's fantastic that you're sharing all these worldly advice, because that's what it is. This is advice passed on from the dawn of time. Beautiful, isn't it? Hey, beautiful. So I had a lovely time with on my son's 15th. Met him after school. We stopped off with all his little. I bought him a nice watch. He was very happy with the watch I got him, and I gave him some cash, a £50 note. Yes. So many good creators out there. Great. So true, actually, right? Yeah. That's a good discussion point, to be fair. Just think about that. There's so much truth and so many layers in that comment. And it hit on straight away by Katie's. But let's just go over this more before we get hit with Katie's follow-on comment. That's even more profound. So many great creators out there just waiting to be heard. Many unheard stories in the graveyard. Isn't that equally profound? We get a compliment incoming. Thank you. Today's host, Matt, really does have some great content skills. Thank you. Well, for me, I like to think, I've been hosting YouTube now for a decade, and if I've got any skills, it's hosting new lives on YouTube skills. I like to think, but I am impressed with my creative videos. And big shout out to ClickChamp. That's the software of choice I use, but I have used other video editing software. So we're coming up to 46 minutes, so I'll wrap up the chat hour, so to speak. And like I said, it's in everyone's interest, or it's in your interest, to endeavour to subscribe to all my channels, because you never know when I'm going to go open discussion on each one. And each new open discussion will have its new screensaver. So you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong. Ryan says, yes, it's so sad to see that, Katie, yes. So true, isn't it? So many unheard stories are in the graveyard. So many great creators out there just waiting to be heard. Profound. That's what it is. We're going up to an hour, everyone. Elon Musk and Donald Trump having, well, whatever it is, I haven't seen it yet. But that's something I'm going to be doing live on the alternative live streaming platform. That'll be used in OBS. That'll be coming. And then I've got the King Arthur. That may well happen at night. Or maybe before I go to bed, I'll go live on the alternative social media live streaming platform. It's not YouTube. But that's when we'll be doing Ross Broadstock reading King Arthur, and it is without doubt the most amazing story of the last century and a half. I mean, the legend of King Arthur is just, everyone knows about it as much as they know about Santa. You know, King Arthur is right there in our folklore, in our myths and legends. And praise be to God via the historical research of Alan Wilson and Baron Blackett, and then Ross Broadstock coming in and doing the amazing amount of work he's done. I'm simply standing on the shoulders of giants. I'm pushing the King Arthur, and I'd just like to claim a bit of fame here. You don't hear this from anyone else, okay? I'm gonna take my bow, so to speak. You're not hearing this from anywhere else. I'm the only one who's pushing King Arthur. I've got the King Arthur political party, adapting the book into teenage reading, toddler reading, and comic form. I'm doing the illustrations, I'm doing the songs. It's epic, and I'm bringing it to you. And I'm thrilled to be able to bring it to you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Katie. I'd just like to touch on a comment, maybe Brian made earlier. Let me just see. He made a comment saying he'd like to see more of your stuff. Yeah. Can't see the comment just yet. I know. I remember Brian saying it. Especially if you've got loads of it. Let's get it out there. Looking forward to it. We shall go forth into history. That's lovely, isn't it, eh? See what's happening there? We'll go forth into history. Isn't that cool? That little, what's that? My little data jump. We'll go forth into history. We shall endeavour to be truthful and good in our quest. I know, and that's what I love about King Arthur. Because you know you can get into heaven, can't you, by keeping with the King Arthur rules. The little chivalry is what it's all about, isn't it? Being noble. Yes, we'll do have a good cup of tea. Oh, so look, we'll be wrapping it up in under 10 minutes, everyone. Oh. Thanks for hanging out in this open discussion. I mean, fair dues, I think we hit about 6 as the highest number who came in. But thank you ever so much for Brian and Katie for jumping in the chat. Open discussion. Of course, we did have Mr. Degenerate in, didn't we? Trying to disrupt. He's like I said, keep saying, and I have to, not for your benefit, but for totally mine. This is for my well-being and sanity and liberty. So for my sanity and liberty and well-being, certain names cannot be mentioned, certain topics cannot be discussed. Act with maturity and keep it friendly. And ultimately, Mr. Degenerate couldn't attain this very low standard of entry requirements. I mean, that isn't hard to comply with. We're not asking much. But thank you ever so much for Brian and Katie for joining in this open discussion, unannounced on Matt Taylor Nightmare. Yes. Welcome to my channel. Subsidiary. It's a subsidiary. MattTaylorTV. I don't have to talk rubbish. I know I do, don't I? That's why I like to do something else with an open chat. But then I thought, well, now that they know I'm here, I may as well jump in and say hi. But actually, to be fair, I do like this concept. I can push the discussion along and bouncing off what you say in the chat. And of course, we're always open to bringing you on as well, if you so desire. So I'm really looking forward to it. But again, I'm going to have to say, this new season will be live on an alternative social media live streaming platform. That's all I want to say at the moment. I don't even want to give you the name of it, really. I don't want the nasty balls of YouTube plaguing me on these pastures new. You know what I mean? Yes, thank you, Katie, for sharing and being here. Yes, now, aren't we friendly, eh? That's what it means. Just be friendly. We're all mature enough to be friendly. Oh yeah, okay. Now I'll just spend the last 5 minutes talking about what I saw last night. Absolutely mind-blowing behaviour of Mr. Degenerate, Mr. Linden, Mrs. B. Unbelievable. Fascinating as well. During that, there were some bits when I was laughing my tits off, but I only regret not being able to show more support for Kaylee and Jake. But we live in such a toxic environment at the moment. Speaking the truth is a dangerous thing to do. I know it's shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. What do you do about it? Whew. So yes, going back to yesterday, the exchange. I mean, they were like just a pack of gremlins. Pack of gremlins just swarming over Kaylee and Jake to pick away at their soul. And I mean, if that's what YouTube after a decade gets you, it's like pastures new. Hello, pastures new. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get any satisfaction from going live on such a toxic environment, which is pretty much, run by the big boys, the likes of Mr. Degenerate and his band of merry perverts, for want of a better word. You know what I mean? God, how horrible. Leave Kaylee alone, for goodness sake. They're just obsessed with her. So sad to see. But then again, I love the story. I love the back and forth. I love different differences of opinion and beliefs. Okay? It just seems to be a concerted effort by a certain section of YouTube not to believe a certain narrative. And if you believe a certain narrative, we're going to come down on you like a gang-stalking gang of gremlins. And that's what we see day in, day out with what's happening to Kaylee and Jake. They're not allowed to believe a certain thing. And so because you believe a certain thing, we're just going to ridicule you and harass you and stalk you until you're screaming like a banshee. It's called reactive abuse. And of course, they record the reaction to their abuse and use that against you. I've been a victim of it. And it's their tactic. It's what they do. Horrible bunch of individuals. And at some point in perusing the news, what I want to do and put on the schedule, I want to really understand each and every entity out there who supports the likes of the vermin fraternity. Brian says it is not the case that the vulture cruises the sky looking for the dead and dying animals, then consume their body. Gang mentality ensues. Yes. It's not the case that the vulture cruises the sky looking for the dead, dying animals to then consume their body. Wow, bit of morbid. Yes, so then the vultures spawn the carcass. There's a picture for you. There's a picture for you to round it up. And on that note, so thank you to Katie and Brian for joining me on this open hour, this open discussion hour. We're coming up to the last of it. I'd say thank you. Have a good day. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Katie. And I shall catch you again soon. Okay, if anyone knows the know, you'll know what other social media live streaming platform I'm going live on. So I'll leave that for you to do a bit of detective work. On that note, remember, I love you as much as King Arthur does too. Without any further ado, goodbye, have a great day.